Here in this video we're going to see how to make our blocks for our block assembly project. So we'll need to navigate to our student folder and go to your period that you're working in, and we'll go to the block assembly file folder, and we're going to first need to make a new folder for your work to go into. So we'll click new folder and put your last name. Once you have your assembly of your parts, you'll be saving all of that and your parts into this folder. So we're going to need to open up this block assembly project file to open up Inventor. Once that opens, then we'll begin by making our parts. So we'll click part, and I'm going to go through and show you how to make each of these parts. It should be relatively simple. So remember, when we work in Inventor and we draw things, we're going to start with a 2D sketch. So we'll click that button, and we need to pick a working plane, drawing plane. I'm going to use the XZ plane, and I'm going to start with the cube. So I'm going to make a rectangle, and I'm going to start here at the origin, drag my mouse out. Using the keyboard now, I'm going to type in the dimensions, 1 by 1 inch square. Make sure you see the dimensions on your screen. I'll finish the sketch. I'm going to then extrude that shape and make it 3D. Make sure here it says that that is 1 inch, and click OK. We'll need to save this to our folder that we just made, and we'll go in there and we're going to make the file name cube. So we'll name the parts what they are. So we'll save that, and that's our cube. Now if you're making a cube with a hole in it, then you'll need to reuse the cube. So everyone's going to need to make a cube for this. We'll need to make a hole in our cube if we're going to use that part. So reusing the cube file, we're going to go up here to hole, tell it what surface the hole needs to be placed on, and the width of the hole needs to be 1/4 of an inch or 0.25. After we type that in, then we're going to need to select the edges, 2 edges of our cube, one at a time. So if you don't get this to appear like so with an arrow going from the center of the circle to the edge, make sure reference 1 right here is selected. This should be a 1/2 inch over since the cube is 1 inch in width. And we'll pick a second edge and measure over 0.5 inches. So now my hole for my block is centered. So once I have done that, then I can click apply and exit out. When you save this, you'll want to go to save as and save it with a different name like cube with hole. So then we know that is the cube we're working with. The next step is to make a wedge. So down here at the bottom, if you go to my home, you can go back to the screen here, make it easy. And we're going to make a new part. For the wedge, we're going to use the line tool. So we'll click line, starting at the origin. I'm going to draw a line that's 1 inch tall. So type in 1, press enter, and I'll want to press escape to stop drawing a line. Reselect the line tool, go back to the origin, draw a line to the right that's 1 inch long, press enter, and I'll need to finish and draw the third line that will connect to the top of the first line, like so. And now that I'm done drawing, I can click finish sketch and then make this into a 3D wedge shape and click OK. Then you'd want to go and save that as a wedge. Make a new part. The next one I will draw is the half round. So I'm going to make a new sketch for this one. For the half round, you're going to start with a circle. And we'll start at the origin, draw a circle that's 1 inch in diameter. And if I were making my cylinder, I would stop here and finish the sketch and then extrude that. But I'm making the half round, so I'm going to need to make a line to divide it in half. So starting here at the top, I'm going to draw a line going down to the other side of the circle. I'm going to then press escape on the keyboard to stop drawing my line. And up here at the top, there's a tool called trim. We're going to use that, and when we place our cursor over half the circle, it will appear as a dashed line. That means that's what we're going to cut away. So we cut away half the circle. So now we can click Finish Sketch, and we're left with half of the circle that we can extrude into a half round. And click OK. So you'll need to make yourself your 3 unique shapes. So one of those shapes should be a block, a cube, and then you'll need to make your other 2 shapes, either the half round, the block with the hole drilled into it, the cylinder, or the wedge, depending on how you're assembling your blocks.